Good morning. Have you ever thought that you were over the death of a family member, and every time you hear a song or the person's birthday comes around, you are suddenly reminded of what happened and all of the memories that you shared with the person? Well, that was my experience this morning listening to Ron Moshette, and he played the gospel song Roots, Got to Be Dreaming. And then I remember my nephew that suddenly disappeared 4 days after my daughter was born. No, that song reminded me of him because he gave that song to my mom on a cassette back in the day when cassettes was running and you had cassette radios. So it reminded me of him and it got me very emotional. Now my question is, do we actually get over the death of our family members when they die so tragically, so suddenly? No, this was someone who was in my life, was my nephew, but basically we lived like brother and sister. Was there to see my daughter in the hospital before she came home as a newborn, was able to hold her and all of that, and 4 days later walked out the house, went missing and never came back. No trace of him or his car, nothing, never to be seen, never to be heard of again. When there is such tragedy in your life and you try as best to put closure to it by doing certain things like a memorial service, which we did a year after, it still eats away at you. So I'm wondering, does people, do you really get over something as tragic as this? Is this something that when it comes to birthdays and Christmas and special times when you would have spent with this particular family member, or particular family members who would have gone missing or died tragically, is that something that you really and truly get over? Am I going to be saddened every time I'm remembered of this? And it's not every time, it's less frequent now. I used to be a lot more emotional about it, but when I think that I'm over this, then the song comes on and everything comes flooding back. So sometimes I wish every single shallow grave or wherever it is that he would have been buried would just open up in Jamaica, so that we can at least get that and put him properly to rest. Then I think that to me is the only way I would get some kind of solace from this whole tragic experience. But life goes on, and we just have to pull ourselves up in me and try our best to move on as best as possible and pray for strength and understanding, because I'm sure there's a lesson from this, as much as it is a sacrifice of some sort, for whatever lesson it is that we should have learned from this. There's always a lesson. There's always a lesson. As bad as the situation may seem, there's always a lesson. So I just hope that one day I can put peace to this and not be able to understand why things happen like this. Why did he die so tragically? And what was the real purpose for his life? What did he fulfill on earth? What was his mission? And did he actually fulfill that mission? And if there's a mission that he should have fulfilled and he didn't, can somebody else pick that up and fulfill it? I don't know. Just thinking out loud.